Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us at 7. I'm Tracey McCain.
And I'm Caitlin Francis. Thanks so much for watching us here on The Wax. Lots of big stories to get to, including that developing news out of Middletown. We'll get to that in just a moment. But first, let's say good morning to meteorologist Jill Gilardi with a check on some fantastic temperatures.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yesterday, another day, I was like, I don't need a jacket in the afternoon.
I like the I don't need a jacket dance.
Yeah, it's like nana and a boo-boo kind of thing, like Mother Nature, like... But yeah, we are above average again this morning, and temperatures are warmer than it was yesterday. So this plus, I like the plus sign, you know, who wants to be in the negative? We don't. And we're talking about temperatures already. Windsor Locks is 43 degrees, which is 2 degrees above normal for a high. So we're way above average. Now, it's not going to end up being like a 65-degree day just because we start off this warm. It'll kind of level off. The warming process will continue. As you can see, inland shoreline, low 40s become upper 40s by noon. And look at that, bright sunshine all day long today. High temperature forecast, well, again, leveling off near 50 New Milford, about 44 Winstead. Getting up to about 50 degrees Suffield and Windsor, so maybe a few degrees lower than what it was yesterday, but I mean, probably don't even notice a difference. It's going to feel just that much nicer out there. Now, the only thing is there will be a little bit of a wind today, so the low 50s and upper 40s may feel just a little bit cooler, but yeah, long sleeve should do it as we get into the afternoon, and a light jacket for this morning. So things are looking up and up, but what we haven't needed in a little bit has been the umbrella, but that changes starting tomorrow. So I'll be timing out that rain for you coming up a little bit later in your first alert 7-8. For now, let's get an update on traffic with Caitlin.
All right, thanks, Jill. Good morning, everyone. Just got this alert from Talon County 911. It looks like we've got a crash along Sads Mill Road in Ellington. So that's right by the intersection of Muddy Brook Road and Lee Lane. Give yourself some time to get around that here this morning if you're waking up with us in Ellington. Rest of the state doing very well. No crashes on those major roadways. We're taking a live look here in the capital city, 91 north and southbound here, right as you're merging from the southbound side onto 84 in Hartford, Middletown. This is right by the Portland Route 9, Route 66 line here in Middletown. Things moving along there. Live look in Waterbury, 84 east and westbound by the Mixmaster, and in Meriden along 691 east and westbound. Again, things are looking very good as you're getting ready to head out the door to start your day. Across the state, no real substantial delays with the exception of things building down through Fairfield County. We're approaching an hour-and-a-half ride that direction, and almost a 35-minute 40 ride 84 eastbound into Hartford. Let's quick check at your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
We're on top of developing news right now in Middletown. Any minute now, search and rescue teams will pick up their search on the Connecticut River.
Your reporter Aaliyah Red has been following this for us all morning long. She's joining us now with brand new information about this search set to resume. Aaliyah, what's the latest?
Caitlin, Tracy, as you said, I've been here all morning, and I've been saying that search and rescue will be starting soon. And these are like the first signs that the search is continuing. We see this caution tape right here. Cops were just out here about 15-ish minutes ago blocking off certain areas in Harbor Park. They blocked off 2 areas, and I'm actually pushed back a little closer to Tate's Restaurant if you're familiar with the area. But again, efforts started last night around 7:30. Right now, you're looking at video Channel 3 captured Tuesday evening when the search began. It all started when witnesses say they saw a car enter the water at the north portion of the park and called police. Divers searched the water about 30 feet offshore, which is pretty shallow water. The fire department rescue boat was also searching nearby. Officials suspended the hours-long search around 11. Back out here live, we don't see any crews out here just yet, but again, the first signs was blocking off parts of Harbor Park last night. They did suspend around 11 just because they wanted to make sure that divers are safe, and also there wasn't a lot of sunlight out there last night, so now that the sun is back up, they will be starting again soon. I did call Middletown Police Department, and they did say that the search time is to be determined. They don't know if anyone is injured right now as well. Your reporter in Middletown, Aaliyah Red, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Aaliyah, thank you. 7:05 new this morning. House Republicans in Washington, D.C. have voted to pass a budget resolution with a push from President Donald Trump. That bill includes $4.5 trillion in tax breaks and $2 trillion in spending cuts. All Democrats voted against the bill, including all of Connecticut's representatives. That vote kicks off a weeks-long process to merge it with the Senate's package. Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro, who represents Connecticut's 3rd District, released a statement saying in part, quote, "After all their talk about lowering the cost of living, Republicans wasted no time in making their real priorities clear. For this majority, billionaires and the biggest corporations always come first," end quote.
An update now on the Pope's health as Catholics around the world are praying for his recovery. This morning, Pope Francis remains hospitalized in critical condition. The pontiff is battling double pneumonia and mild kidney failure. The Vatican says he's showing signs of improvement and is well enough to get out of bed and eat on his own. They also say he's been able to handle small amounts of work.
Back here at home, former Stone Academy students could soon get some money back. The $5 million settlement is expected to get final approval today during a hearing starting at 10 o'clock. That money would be split among roughly 1,000 former Stone students. As you'll remember, Stone Academy abruptly closed all of its campuses 2 years ago, leaving some students with more than $30,000 in debt and no degrees.
Well, this morning, an update on a case that impacted everyone here at home. The suspect who hit and killed Trooper First Class Aaron Pelletier and then drove off took a plea deal. Alex Oyola Sanchez will serve 18 years in prison. Pelletier's widow is not happy about this plea deal. She told the judge she wants him to serve a 30-year sentence. She believes that's fair. But Oyola Sanchez and the state have agreed to those 18 years instead of the maximum 20 in order to avoid a trial. Happening today, once again, lawmakers proposing lowering the legal blood alcohol level in Connecticut.
Your reporter Marcy Jones has more from the capital city on what could be big changes for drivers.
That's absolutely correct. Good morning, you guys. This afternoon, we know that the Transportation Committee will be thumbing through this 8-page bill that heavily pushes to reduce the blood alcohol content that is legal for drivers here in Connecticut to just 0.05. Within Bill 1376 is a push for more police officers to be able to perform blood draws. It's something that's already in action around the state, but only as a pilot program. This bill would help expand that effort. After 2 failed attempts the past couple of years, supporters of the bill hope the data speaks for itself. Every day in the U.S., about 37 people die from drunk driving crashes. In Connecticut, we average about 100 deaths caused by impaired drivers each year. Many members of the Transportation Committee see this bill as an effort to save lives. Now, we want to hear from you. We have a Vote Now poll up on our website. You can see that there on our screen as well. And this is really just so that we can have your opinion. We want to know if you agree with lowering the blood alcohol level to 0.05. Your reporter in Hartford, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
And speaking of that Vote Now poll, we want to know what you think about the proposal to lower the legal limit. You can tell us whether you agree or disagree by going to WFSB.com/vote now or the news app. And you can see right now 71% of you are saying that you do not agree with this change.
Well, this morning, we're working to learn whether Governor Lamont will veto a new bill that allocates $40 million to schools for special education. Just hours ago, the bill passed in the Senate, and you might remember we told you yesterday that it passed the House the prior night. The governor says the bill is fiscally irresponsible because it could push the state over the spending cap, adding it's reminiscent of how budgeting was, quote, dangerously done in the past.
Other bills that passed include banning towns and cities from buying Chinese-made drones. Another grants $800,000 to protect access to reproductive rights, and a third allows UConn to have revenue sharing with its top athletes.
And in just a few hours, jury selection continues in the murder trial for Jose Morales. He's accused of killing the mother of his child. We're also learning this morning that his trial, now set to start in early April. Police say he killed Christine Holloway in her Ansonia apartment back in 2019. Their daughter, Vanessa, went missing after the crime, and no one has seen her since.
7:09, the suspect who stabbed a Woodbury officer will be back in front of a judge today. Tyler Wilmot is charged with assaulting a police officer and attempted murder. State prosecutors say he knew that officer, who was stabbed several times in the neck and throat. We're told the only reason he survived was quick action from fellow officers to help get him to the hospital. And the process to revamp the former UConn West Hartford campus is one step closer to completion. Last night, the town council approved a plan to transform the site into residential apartments and townhouses, along with a grocery store, restaurant, and retail space. 5% of the units would be classified as affordable housing.
An update now on the seal pup who made national headlines after wandering onto the streets of New Haven. We've now learned he's battling pneumonia.
This is not a great update to tell you about this morning, but a little chappy here. Workers say that at Mystic Aquarium say his immune system is showing some signs of weakness. Just like human babies, vets say young seal pups are more susceptible to infections. As you remember, Chappie was discovered on Chapel Street in New Haven after waddling up from the Long Island Sound earlier this month.
Mystic Aquarium says they will continue to provide us updates on his condition, and the plan is to release him when he gets better. But it might be a while, Jill.
Well, at least he's in good hands.
Yeah,
so I'm
in the right
glad.
spot.
You know what I mean? Oh my goodness, pneumonia, man, it was going around wild for us humans this winter season, which is almost in a wrap. All right, we are talking about bright and beautiful weather today. Umbrella weather though tomorrow, and mild to end of the month, and a meteorological winter. Look at that sunshine in New London. It's 41 degrees, a little breezy out there, so it will create a cooler feel. But we have 30s and 40s this morning, way above average kicking off the day, and we're going to be topping off near 50 degrees. So upper 40s, low 50s, another perfect day. Tomorrow, though, we mentioned rains in the forecast, so timing that out for you coming up here in just a few minutes.